Naming places. The Soviet Union had a straightforward way of naming places. Moscow's railway stations, for instance, are named after destinations broadly defined. Before the war, the beautiful Kievsky station used to send trains to Kiev in Ukraine and erstwhile Soviet Republic. Leningradsky station flags off trains towards Leningrad, now St. Petersburg. Like the city, the station too has changed its name several times. To avoid any confusion, it has the same design as the Moskovsky station in St. Petersburg, from which the trains leave for Moscow. From the Kazansky station, trains travel towards Kazan and beyond. Belorussky station services trains going towards Belarus, also once a Soviet Republic satellite town, and so on. Hotels and restaurants were named after Soviet cities or republics or friendly capitals. You would not have found a Hotel California or a Cave du Paris, but there were hotels named Leningrad, Warsaw, Berlin, Budapest, Belgrade, and of course Moscow, and the gigantic Russia, getting lost in which could be a pleasant pastime. Peking merited a restaurant, not a hotel, after the Sino Soviet drift. Praga, as in Prague, a cakery in Old Arbut sold a popular chocolate cake. With the same blunt directness, Nikita Khrushchev, Stalin's successor, named the gigantic hotel he inaugurated in 1956 Ukraina to commemorate the 300th anniversary of the Treaty of Pereyaslav, following which, according to the Russian narrative, Ukraine became part of the Russian Empire. The Ukrainians, to put it mildly, disagree. Situated on the sweeping Kujovsky Prospect on the banks of the Moskva River, the Ukraina was one of Stalin's 7 staggering Gothic skyscrapers known as Seven Sisters, built just to make Americans gasp. Moscow State University occupies the tallest of these sisters, and the Russian Foreign Ministry another. In its heyday, the Ukraina was considered an engineering marvel and was, with its 1,000 rooms, the largest in Europe. But by the early 80s, when I lived as a junior diplomat on Kujovsky Prospect, Soviet Supremo Leonid Brezhnev too lived on the same avenue, but somehow we never met in the queue for black bread. The hotel had the sad air of an aging ballerina in laddered stockings. It was patronized mostly by official delegations who had little choice. Dim lighting permeated from the windows of its 34 floors, and its long carpeted corridors were musty. The buffet used to shut down during lunch from noon to 2 p.m., a common practice in Soviet Moscow. In the garden stood the granite statue of the powerful Ukrainian poet Taras Shevchenko, a cape of snow resting on his shoulders as he stared stonily at the skiers on the frozen river. The Ukraina has since been privatized, refurbished, and rebranded as the luxurious Radisson Collection Hotel. But the irony of this iconic building, always Ukraina in public memory, dominating the Moscow landscape at a beautiful bend in the river, will haunt generations to come. The longer the drones fly, the bombs explode, and people die, the more embittered will be this memory with the bile of war. Shevchenko will continue to stand there deep in thought, and his accusatory stare will be difficult to ignore, as will be the question from his poem, The Caucasus. And what of blood and what of tears? Thank you for listening.